afternoon, schools are already announcing closures ahead of the winter storm. Joining us is meteorologist Nathan Scott. He and our team have been tracking what's to come for Arkansas. Nathan, what do we need to know about conditions at this point?
Good afternoon, Jurnee. We have high confidence it is going to snow here in central Arkansas. Here's the latest winter weather alerts. We have a winter storm warning issued in the pink that encompasses most of the state. The rest of the state primarily under a winter storm watch. And when you're under a winter storm warning, that means the confidence in significant to heavy snow is up there. And I think there could also be maybe some significant icing down into south and southeast Arkansas. So we do have clear skies out there today. Get any final errands done today. If you have to run to the grocery store for some minor supplies, you're not going to be stuck inside for a week or more than that. Maybe a few days of inconvenience. We do have the THV 11 weather impact alert that starts Thursday, continues into Friday, as temperatures will be very close to freezing. We'll watch snow, maybe a wintry mix start to develop here for the afternoon. The evening rush on Thursday will start to deteriorate quickly, and once the sun sets, that's when the roads will quickly become snow covered and slick. The heaviest snow and the heaviest winter precipitation will happen Thursday night, continuing to Friday morning, and then it will start to wind down. Lows tonight dropping down into the teens to low 20s, and here's just one future radar we're looking at, but there you see the precipitation in all of its forms moves in here for the afternoon, but certainly the evening hours. It may start off in the form of rain before it cools things down the atmosphere, and then that rain changes over to snowflakes, sleet, maybe some freezing rain, especially in the pink. The jackpot zone, I think, is right over central Arkansas. I've adjusted the snowfall totals a little bit higher. I'll have the latest forecast coming up.
Thank you, Nathan. Well, the process to prepare the state for winter snow is in full effect. The Little Rock Airport is working to continue operations by any means necessary. Our team spoke to crews at the airport. They told us they started their winter readiness protocols last September. That includes maintaining equipment and conducting emergency drills. Randy Ellis, the director of facilities maintenance, says there's a lot of manpower being put in to secure the airport.
One of the things that we are tasked to do as the airport operator is keep the airport open and safe at all times. And so that's why we get out here with this equipment and we train and we get started early in these events, and then we stay with it until it's finished.
Clinton National Airport will remain open through the snowstorm. As for individual airlines, flights can and will be canceled if needed. Our meteorology team has called for a chance for ice in some areas. If that happens, the state's power grid needs to be prepared. Entergy spent months getting the system ready for this exact situation. THV 11's Ashley Godwin shows us how.
We perform drills, storm drills on a very frequent basis. And unfortunately for our Arkansas teams, we're very used to winter events, tornadic events, severe thunderstorms.
Preparation is everything when it comes to severe weather. All year long, Entergy has been updating the grid by replacing power lines and poles. We caught up with them last fall to see it happen. Now those upgrades will be put to the test with our first potential weather storm of the year.
Just to make sure that the system is more resilient, that it's able to carry some of this load and withstand some of the ice loading and some of the damages that we could potentially sustain in a winter event like this.
Not every part of the grid has been updated. Entergy prioritized areas with more troublesome power lines in more populated areas,
to ensure that we get the poles that have been identified as the worst, and we go ahead and get those swapped out.
All of this so that when weather events like this potential snowstorm occur, we have less issues. Now, linemen will start heading to places that are expected to be the most impacted.
Basically, that I-30 corridor is kind of what we're targeting right now, but if the forecast shows it shifting over a little further east or a little further south, then we will certainly be adjusting for that.
If snow or ice does hit your neighborhood, here's what you need to know. If the power goes out, Entergy asks you to turn off electric heaters and major appliances until power is restored. If you see any downed power lines that could be sparking or even catch fire, call 911 and 1-800-ENTERGY so it can be taken care of immediately.
And we will be dispatching 24 hours a day to make sure that we get folks in the right place at the right time.
In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
State lawmakers will begin session in a matter of days, and while they are a key part of the legislative process, your voice matters just as much. The state's legislation session begins Monday, and that's when new members of Congress will be sworn in and assigned to their respective committees. As for you watching, your role of providing feedback is vital. State representatives say the insight you give during public meetings have significant value.
They show up before the meeting begins, and there will be sign-up sheets outside the door of those committees where they can speak for a bill or against a bill.
We have a team at the Capitol right now hearing from lawmakers about the 2025 agenda. We'll provide those details during THV 11's evening coverage. President Jimmy Carter's casket was taken to Washington Tuesday. He will lie in state until tomorrow's funeral ceremony. Our correspondent station in D.C. covered the tribute as it happened. Alexis Wainwright is in the field with more.
Many of the people we spoke to say they don't mind being out here waiting in these bitter cold temperatures. They all say that they are here for the same purpose.
Come on, guys, let's pictures one more. We got 17%.
This is really an emotional experience for me.
For many, this is a somber moment on Capitol Hill.
It means everything to me.
Thousands braving the bitter cold to pay respects to late President Jimmy Carter.
This is a really solemn moment in American history. He's given so much to our country and to the world, and I feel like we wouldn't have missed this for anything. So if it's a little cold, it doesn't matter.
We had layered appropriately. We didn't drink much liquid because we wanted to make sure we could stand in line.
Chris Forward arrived just before 3 p.m. to be first in line.
First in line doesn't matter. I really wanted to come pay my respects to President Carter. I think he was a wonderful president.
Little did she know she'd make friends along the way.
Do you guys already know each other?
No.
No, you see, you met in line.
Yes.
And we're now best friends.
Now we were both here for the same purpose, and that makes it more, I don't want to say fun because it's not a fun occasion, but it's more meaningful.
Jimmy Carter was one of my biggest inspirations for joining the Peace Corps.
He monitored elections and worked to eradicate disease, and he built homes. So I think giving him a thank you and paying my respects is the very least I can do.
Having medical debt would no longer be reported to credit bureaus. Learn more about the new rule ahead at 12:18.
And we are talking about good potential of snow, maybe even some significant ice, but it's not going to stick around for a week because look at this. Temperatures warming well above freezing by the weekend into next week. So snow melt will be happening certainly by Saturday afternoon. I'll have the latest snowfall projections and ice projections we're expecting for your neighborhood coming up.